So I will open up and I'll start talking and sharing, and I've poured out my heart on a subject or whatever. And I look at Ron, and he's driving, and he says, mm-hmm. That's all I get.
And it's you and me, babe, whatever comes. Knowing bigger hands are holding ours, and the greatest days are ahead of us. Growing in love, learning to be a better us.
Hi, we're so glad you've tuned into A Better Us. Welcome to our home.
Okay, so I love today's show, and I know you will too, because if you're like us, you are going to see yourself in one of the 4 major communication styles described by relationship experts Neil and Sharol Josephson.
Yep, they got us pegged.
They sure do.
And it's those differences in how we communicate that can cause a lot of friction in marriage.
But it's just the way we're wired.
So clearly understanding each other's style goes a long way toward better communication.
Absolutely. And later, we're on the beach with Dr. Mike, and he's going to stress the importance of couples going to bed together.
Now, it's not what you might think.
Although, it could be.
And here to do a lot of communicating around our kitchen island are kitchen couples, CFL football legend Mike Pinball Clemens and his wife Diane.
And youth and children's pastors Eric and Kara Mains.
So stay with us and let's get started.
Marriage is this wonderful, crazy process of 2 individuals building one life together. But it's difficult because we are so different. Yep. We're different, we have different backgrounds, we have different interests, emotions, personality. It makes it hard to get connected and stay connected. But it can be done if we can communicate.
But there's the conundrum. We need to communicate well to navigate our differences, but we have big differences in how we communicate.
Yeah.
So the first difference we need to communicate about is our communication differences. Did you get all that? That's how difficult it is, but we're going to walk through 4 of the most common communication differences that we've observed in our life and the couples we work with. So as you listen, see if you can identify yourself or your partner as we talk about these 4 communication styles.
The first one is this: external processor or internal processor. Now, external processors, not only do they like to talk, they need to talk to know what they think. It's how they figure out life, it's how they figure out their emotions, their thoughts, even who they are. Now, internal processors need to think first in order to know what to speak. We have to mull things over for a while, put things all together in our heads, and then we speak. And while we're collecting our thoughts and our feelings, our external processing spouse starts talking again, giving us more information to process, and we can't seem to keep up. And if that happens too often, we just shut up. And our external processing spouse can think we don't care or we're not engaged.
Then there are the facts and the feelings people. Facts people prefer the certainty of logic and reason and hard evidence. That's what they like. They think emotion just confuses issues. When they're listening to their spouse, they often try to filter out the emotion in order to deal with the facts. Now, feelings people do care about facts, but they feel first. Maybe emotions matter more to them. For them, feelings are the facts. And to feel really understood by their partner, they need to know that their spouse isn't filtering out their feelings, but is really trying to understand them.
Then there are minimizers and magnifiers. Now, those titles kind of speak for themselves. Minimizers manage their stress by reducing issues. It's not that big of a deal. We got this, honey, no worries. And often they'll not only minimize or suppress their own thoughts and feelings, they'll do the same to their spouses. But magnifiers do the reverse. They amplify whatever they're thinking and feeling. They go to 11, they're kind of the drama kings and drama queens of the world. They feel things intensely. So when a minimizer and a magnifier get together, there will be friction. Why are you so emotional? Why are you so cold? So in our relationship, Neil's a minimizer. And early...
Well, not that much.
Case in point, early in our marriage, I would think that he didn't care about some issue that had come up, or that he didn't understand how serious it was. So I would magnify, and then you would minimize all the more. And it was a communication pattern that we had to recognize and had to correct, but it was just based on our differences.
One more really common communication difference, and that's between indirect communicators and direct communicators. Indirect communicators find it really difficult to ask for what they want directly. So instead of that, they'll hint around or they'll ask questions. Maybe they'll go silent and hope that you figure it out. And they're really disappointed if their partner doesn't pick up on their subtle or unspoken cues. On the other hand, direct communicators are really blunt. They get to the point. I like to say it this way. Direct communicators see communication as a hammer. Something needs to be said, I grab my hammer, bam, there, I nailed it. And then I move on. Direct communicators are usually hopeless at picking up indirect communication. And indirect communicators are typically bowled over or get hurt by direct communicators. If you're married to the opposite style, you're going to have to work really hard to communicate well with one another.
So those are 4 of the most common communication differences. But here's the thing, nobody's right and nobody's wrong. But picture these on a continuum. If you and your partner are on opposite sides of the continuum, internal, external, facts, feelings, minimizer, magnifier, direct or indirect, chances are that's where your communication is getting bogged down. So it's a good place to start as you try to understand each other. And that is the whole point of communication, understanding.
Okay, Ron and I love this one.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw ourselves all over this. And I heard, Diane, I heard you agreeing at the amen corner. Yeah. Oh, I know.
Now, I'm wondering if she spoke for you, though, Ron. Because guys in communication.
You know what? I'm definitely the internal processor and Anne's the external. It was just opposite all the way down the line.
All the way down the line.
By the way, we have Mike and Diane here, and we have Eric and Kara.
We're just so excited to start talking about it. It's so good. It is so good.
Yeah.
Because I think we could all identify ourselves in that. Like you guys.
Yeah, I'm internal, 100%. External, 100%.
I'm an external fact-based minimizer that talks directly, but occasionally indirectly.
And it's funny how we marry the opposite.
Yeah, we do.
We marry the opposite because we're attracted to that person because they kind of fill in those blanks. Did you guys do that too?
Absolutely. I'm definitely the external. And
I'm the internal.
Yep. And
I'm facts-based and
Yes,
she's feeling-based.
And so that can always get interesting when I'm like, just feel what I feel and understand what I understand. And he's like, no, like, what are the facts of this situation? What's the other side of this? Yes, I know you're feeling this, but let's work it out. And I found through that.
I remember actually saying, let's put our feelings aside for now. And but like, and she's just like,
I'm like,
what did you just say? These are my feelings. And so I don't know. I'm still for 4 years in. I'm still learning that there are some things that I just cannot say.
Yes, and I've learned I can't always get offended when he said, let's put the feelings to the side, because really there are some facts that we need to discuss.
We need to focus on the facts.
Yeah, well, that's because that's the way his mind works.
Yeah.
He zeroes in on the facts and you zero in on the feelings.
Yes.
But I love what Sharol said. It's not that one is right and one is wrong. It's just the way you're wired.
Right.
And as you understand that about each other, then you kind of like light bulbs go off. I know for us, it did, because then I realized, okay, I love when Sharol said, so the external processor is talking and the internal processor is trying to absorb. And so he's
throwing things.
He's stuck.
I'm still processing,
He's way back here.
and she's on the next few
And
things.
I've taken that train all the way around the mountain and down the but he's way back
But the
here.
thing you don't understand is that the facts make the feelings mute.
Come on.
A lot of times Mike is waiting for me to answer, and he's still talking, and I'm still just, I'm like, can you just let me think? I don't have an answer yet. I need to think. Let me think. Be quiet. Yeah.
And it could be a real cause of friction.
Yeah.
Because if you don't really understand this, that this different, and you don't really accept it, you just kind of, the way you want to communicate, and you don't understand why they're not picking up on that. It's just
early
frustrating
on-
and
Early on, I used to think that he didn't care. He doesn't care what I'm talking about. He's not even responding. He's not giving me feedback. I'm not getting anything out of him. I'm just talking, and he's just sitting there like this. But little did I know that he's in the middle of this huge, Rubik's Cube puzzle in his brain, trying to figure out what I'm saying and how to respond to what I'm saying.
and probably thinking through the scenarios. Okay, if I say this, she might react this way, or maybe I do it this way. And in the meantime, she's farther down the road,
jumped,
and she thinks I don't care. But that doesn't mean that I don't try to empathize and connect with her feelings, because I've learned, and watching A Better Us other episodes, we talk about how you need to communicate and open the dialogue and to try to enter in and to empathize and feel with the other person. But it's it still doesn't come naturally. It's got to put some work into it.
For years, I would just shut down. Like I would just, and he would tell me all the time, "We have to communicate. You need to talk." But I couldn't. I was like, well, how do I talk if you do all the talking? You're not listening to me, and you don't care what I have to say. So I would shut down, not say one word, just. And then he would think, well, you don't care, you're not talking to me. But it wasn't. It was just because I didn't know how to process everything so quickly.
To me, baby.
I can't process it. It's too much information.
Well, you know what? One of her biggest words that she would use quite often to me, and still every once in a while, is the word elaborate. Elaborate. So I just kind of answer the question, and I get to the facts.
We're too much alike.
I know.
And then she's like, "Come on, I need more. That's all you're gonna give me."
I don't know if you find this, but when you're in the car on a long car ride, that's when we talk. We talk a lot because it's just the two of us. We got a long drive ahead of us, and so I will open up and I'll start talking and sharing, and I've poured out my heart on a subject or whatever, and I look at Ron, and he's driving, and he says, That's all I get.
It's like when you get a response from a long text, just, okay.
Exactly.
It's like, okay?
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why I say, honey, elaborate. Come on, give me more.
And then I gotta
Because
come up with the words, and that is work. But I guess marriage can be work sometimes, and it's a good thing.
It's worth it.
When I'm more seriously reflect about the points that they make when we talk about external versus internal, and feelings versus facts, minimizing more, or magnifying. When I think about those things, what I love is not so much that we've developed terms for them and we communicate differently, but as we walk through those things, we actually realize that, we recognize ourselves in those things, right? And so we're actually able to see and identify. So as we learn and grow and become a better us, right? Having these kinds of learnings when we have, people like this who can kind of talk about it and kind of really capsulize it for us, gives us a chance to walk through and to see ourselves in the things that we do, and kind of helps to coach us to get better.
100%.
And you see that, okay, I'm not the only one that has these issues in marriage. Like there's others out there. And the aha moment saying, okay, this is good. I've learned something about myself and about my spouse, and we'll work on that too. But these types of discussions it's really what A Better Us is all about.
Yeah, we really enjoyed watching them with this teaching, because when they were talking about the facts and that stuff, like we looked at each other as like, oh, that's what that meant, because Kara would come to me with a discussion with one of her friends, and then she would tell me what her opinion on the fact was. She'd tell me her friend's opinion, and then I would say, yeah, you had some good thoughts, but she had really good thoughts here too. And she's like, wait, so you're taking her side? And I'm like, no, like my feelings aren't taking anyone's side. I'm just laying out the facts here. It was an aha moment when we were watching this teaching. So
that explains it.
We really
get
enjoyed it. I'm not taking sides.
I think the point is, from Neil and Sharol, is to understand our differences. That we're not trying to change each other. We're not trying to make him more like me, and he's not trying to make me more like him. But we're just understanding our differences, and hopefully, in understanding, we start to move closer to the center. Instead of being polar opposites, we start to come a little closer to the center, where I slow down my talking, he ramps up his elaborating.
And that's where the work comes in a little bit. So,
but it's worth it.
It is. This is good stuff.
And I think it's a good combination. Not only are we understanding our differences, we're understanding ourselves and the little things that we do that we can change.
That's it.
All right. Well, stay with us. There is more A Better Us coming up.
Doctor told me yesterday that I need to start closing the filing cabinet in the evenings. She says, and when you close it, I need you to lock it. I need you to shut everything off, right? Because you need to decompress.
Hi, we hope you're enjoying the show.
Our vision at A Better Us is to see every marriage become a loving union that creates a safe family haven, building a legacy of hope for future generations.
That's why we feel it's so important to invest in marriage relationships through producing a new episode of A Better Us every week.
Absolutely. If you feel as we do that marriages are worth investing in, then then please consider joining us as a member of A Better Us with a monthly donation of $25.
You'll be making a big difference in lives and families, and we'll send you 2 of our special mugs, the mugs that you see our kitchen couples using each program.
Absolutely. And be sure to send us your mugshot selfie, and we'll post it on our Facebook page and on our website.
Simply visit abetterus.tv and click Donate to set up your automatic monthly giving. God bless you, and thank you so much for making this program possible and helping us strengthen marriages.
So we can all become a better us.
So, my wife and I have always had different sleep cycles. She likes to go to bed early. Like, come 9 o'clock, man, she is ready for bed. I'm the opposite. I'm a night owl. Like, I could stay up all night long, and that's just how I'm wired. When we first got married, this kind of worked for us. You know, she kind of took one for the team a lot, and she would stay up with me, and we were able to navigate it pretty easily. But that strategy started to break down pretty significantly when we had our first baby boy. And for those of you who have children, you know and understand, kids change everything, especially how much a young couple sleeps, right? So slowly over time, we started to recognize that we were keeping different schedules. My wife, man, she was exhausted chasing that boy around 24/7. She would collapse in the bed at 9:30, just like asleep. I started to like say, hey, wait, I've got an extra 3 hours here at night. I can do my thing. I can watch TV, I can read a little bit, I can do whatever I want to do. Somewhere along the way, we had this epiphany. A few years into our life as parents, we realized, man, we are missing a vital part of what connected us as a newly married couple. We were severely missing our bedtime routine. So we made this decision to be very intentional about going to bed together at least 3 or 4 nights a week. Let's try to hit that number 4 every week. We're gonna try to spend 4 nights going to bed together at the same time. It's funny, this little shift not only helped us reconnect intimately, it helped us find a deeper sense of emotional intimacy. Now, my wife and I, we absolutely 100% believe going to bed together is something sacred that we share together. We believe that now, we get it. And here's the thing, you can't do that with anybody else. That's something just you and your spouse can do, right? Or you're gonna be in big trouble. So it doesn't have to be about sex. I need to say that. It doesn't have to be about sexual intimacy. Just spend a few minutes talking together before you shut your eyes. Just take the time to give each other a little bit of affection, speak the other person's love language, and it's an easy way to kind of align your schedules, catch up, and feel more connected. So my encouragement to you is this. Whatever goes on in your day, no matter how tired you are, no matter how amped up you are, make the decision to go to bed together whenever possible. And you know what? You might be real surprised in the morning just how close you feel.
Okay, some great advice from Dr. Mike. Go to bed together. What a concept.
You know, it's so funny. We talk a lot about how different we are in our personalities and our communication styles, but really I think that translates into this. Some people are night owls and some people are morning bird, early morning birds. And
it's an important part of the communication time.
is.
You know, at the end of the day, just kind of decompress together and to be able to just communicate. There's that word again.
You have to, though, make it happen, because if it's not your tendency to stay up late or to go to bed early, it's a sacrifice, isn't it? What about you guys? Do you have that difference?
We're not both night owls because of our lifestyle, but I would be the one to go to bed first, but I have a hard time falling asleep. So when he comes to bed and I want to talk because I'm not asleep, as soon as his head hits the pillow, he's out. Like a light, he's out.
Takes me 17 seconds to go to bed. And that's not if I'm not, and that's not if I'm tired. If I'm tired,
right?
it's like,
It's crazy.
3 or 4, yes.
I'm like, honey, and he's snoring. I'm like, oh man.
Well, if you're watching us on TV right now and you're sitting on your couch or you're in the bed, I'm sitting with you this time because for me, this is an epiphany. I mean, life is so simple. It is the little things. There was a wonderful mentor of mine who used to say, Mike, it's the little things. He says, how many people have been bitten by an elephant, right? How many people have been bitten by a dog? A few more, people. How many people have been bitten by a mosquito? Right? You see, it's the little things. And this little point, right, about going to bed. I'm usually up later than her, and then when I go to bed, I come and crash. But just having that time, for me, this is something that I want to put into practice. And in preparation last night, actually did go to bed for the first time together in a long time. Usually when we go to bed together is when you're on vacation or traveling or doing something like that. But making it a daily practice, guys, this is something I'm trying to do. So I'm with you. If you're listening, let's do it together. Well, with our wives. Yes.
I was about to say, hold on, let's get it.
Well, that's good. You know, like there's a challenge there put out to everyone watching to follow Mike's example. And no, Dr. Mike on the beach was saying at least try 4 nights a week. You know, if you have those schedules, that maybe have that as a goal, and that would that could probably revolutionize things if you're not really in the habit of communicating at the end of the day.
So Eric is our son. He's our youngest son. Guilty, and I always remember that you were the early bird in the house. So you were up at 6 a.m. Everybody else, all the other kids are sleeping. You're wide awake at 6 a.m. So mom is wide awake at 6 a.m. So are you still an early bird?
Mm-hmm. I always get up way before Kara does. I let the dogs out. And a lot of times I'll make her breakfast.
It's true. It's very nice. It is very nice.
What about the night before?
Well, we normally go to bed together. There's like
every time.
Rarely that we haven't gone to bed together.
And if I'm out late with some guys, she'll wait up for me, and when I get home, then we'll go to bed together. That's just kind of how it's always been with us.
And now I just feel like I can't sleep without him there. So, or if he's gone away with ministry, then I'll phone him, and then I'll be in bed, and I'll just fall asleep with him on the phone.
She will. And then I'll just guess if she's sleeping, and I'll hang up, and then he hangs up for her. So.
I just love it. It's a comfort thing.
I've done that. I do that with Mike when he's traveling, and he travels a lot.
Yeah.
I don't sleep. Like I can't fall asleep without him there.
Yeah.
And same thing. He'll call or I'll call him. And we'll talk for a while. And he's like, "You're tired. Go to bed." I'm like, "No, I'm good." No, I'm fine.
And then another issue, which is more like in the last 10 years or so, the reality is because everyone's either got the phone or they've got a laptop, you know, and so we find, we go to bed together, but then, you know, we're checking email, we've got a laptop.
Not even communicating. I'm on my phone and I'm going through email or going through Facebook, seeing pictures of our kids that live in the States and the grandbabies, and, you know, and so we don't say a word, but we find we have to make ourselves deliberately close the phone, close that
for a bit of that time anyway.
And then have that more, you know, time, just the two of you, where you talk about the day, you talk about things, you snuggle.
And about tomorrow, maybe.
And about, and just have that. So you have to be deliberate. That's what I heard Dr. Mike say, is you have to be deliberate.
And same with us. We go to bed with devices and laptops, and he's working on something, I'm working on something, but we do have to make an effort to, Doctor told me yesterday that I need to start closing the filing cabinet in the evenings. She says, and when you close it, I need you to lock it. I need you to shut everything off, right? Because you need to decompress.
Everything
right?
but me.
Everything but you. And that's what we need to do. Like when we walk into our bedrooms at night, we need to leave all that stuff outside the bedroom door and just have that time together, because it really does make a difference.
It really does for the long haul. It makes such a difference in your relationship.
Absolutely.
And so maybe we should just throw out that challenge that just maybe for the next week, try to, at least for 4 nights of the next week, go to bed at the same time. Don't bring the laptops or the phones.
Device-free zone.
Device-free zone, exactly.
And the television sometimes is a distraction.
Yeah, no, turn off the television.
Television as well.
And just focus on each other.
Left to your own devices.
There you go. There you go. Watch out. Somebody write that one down. That was a good one.
Okay, well, that was a good discussion. It's important to have and to realize that, you know, going to bed together, spending time together, communicating at the end of the day has a big impact on your life.
Debriefing for sure.
Okay, don't go away. We'll have some closing thoughts in a little bit.
Missed an episode of A Better Us? No problem. Visit abetterus.tv and click Watch, where you can enjoy past episodes and even share them with your friends. Each episode is packed with practical advice to help you and your relationship become a better us. While you're there, click subscribe to receive your free weekly Marriage Moment email. Also like us on Facebook to receive program previews, news about upcoming events, and inspirational quotes. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
As we all work to become a better us, it's a great idea to learn from the best. And that's why we make available some excellent resources for you at our online store.
Like this book, The Good Fight by Drs. Les and Leslie Parrott. They ask, what if your disagreements could actually draw you closer? And then they show you how it's possible.
This book includes a one-of-a-kind smartphone app that you can download for free, and it brings the message of the good fight to life with videos, tools, and even games.
All right, to order your copy, visit abetterus.tv.
You know, sometimes couples ask us, what can we do in a real practical way to move our relationship from either bad to better or good to great? Wherever you are on that continuum, what's something really practical you can do starting this very day?
And I love that question. Every couple longs to grow, but sometimes they don't know where to put all their energy and effort.
And so one practical thing that you can do is take an assessment, and there's lots of good assessments out there to help you kind of understand your personalities. But we recommend the Deep Love Assessment because it doesn't just look at our two individual personalities, but the combination of them together.
Well, and it uses our unique personalities in our marriage to look at how we communicate and navigate conflict and
increase intimacy and so forth. And it just takes about 10 minutes or so. You answer a few questions to get this report along with an action plan so you know how to unpack it together. But know this, whether you use the Deep Love Assessment or something else, when you're doing that, you're not getting graded. There's no right or wrong answers. It's just revealing who you are so you can better understand each other and have deeper intimacy. I can't tell you how important it is to increase your self-awareness and increase empathy. Those two things, it's like the twin engines of superpowered couples. So find a tool that'll do just that for you starting today, and it'll make a world of difference in the weeks, months, and years to come.
Today's show has been a real eye-opener for all of us.
That's for sure. It's funny how different we are in the way we communicate. Remember those 4 communication styles? Okay, I'm external, feelings, magnifier, indirect.
And I'm pretty much the opposite, internal, facts, minimizer, and direct.
We can be totally different in how we communicate, but we can still make marriage work, and we can make it good.
Right. And as Dr. Mike said, one of the most important times for the two of you to communicate is at the end of the day. Unplugging from the world and plugging into each other.
But it's not always easy, especially if there are some unresolved issues between you that need healing. We do hurt each other, and this creates kinds of barriers to the communication that would help us become a better us.
If you'd say, yeah, that's where we are right now, and you want to find healing for your marriage, we can pray with you about that. The number on your screen is our prayer line number, and it's available 24/7.
We would love to connect you with God, the originator of love. He's the best one to start communicating with, and the only one who can truly bring healing to your marriage.
And as we've discovered, a marriage that invites God into the mix is one that will go the distance.
Thanks again for stopping by. And remember, with God, there is always hope to become a better us.
Hey guys, if you've enjoyed the show, we'd love to hear from you.
You can visit our website at abetterus.tv and like us on Facebook to receive updates, marriage tips, photos, behind-the-scenes videos, and lots more.
And don't forget to sign up for your free weekly Marriage Moment email, all right?
Also, your support helps to make the production of A Better Us possible and helps to strengthen other couples in their journey after I do.
So to help out, just click the donate button on our website. And thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.